Hey guys, Cast72, hope you're doing well. Today I want to go over some trim work on my 2013 Kia Soul that I never did finish completing. I did do the the door trim, a little bit of it, the handles, and I did that to the back seat as well. And then I did the front dash, if you can see that. Right here, I did the front dash as well. And I'm really happy with the results of this product. It's called vinyl paint. It comes in a spray can, and this has been on here for, man, about 3 or 4 years now. And as you can see, it's retained its color very well. It looks like the day when I first did it, and I'm happy with the results. And I just kind of want to follow up some more trim on the Kia now that I've got some time to do so. And then let me just show you the back. I did the back as well. And the reason why I did this, guys, is because when I first bought the vehicle, everything inside was just completely red. I'm sorry, completely black. And I wanted it to have a little bit more contrast. So that's kind of why I did this red trim. And I'm happy with the results. So the tools we're going to need, let me finish by saying the parts that I'm going to go ahead and do today. So I already started on the passenger side, on driver's side. And as you can see, this is what I'm referring to. It's basically going to be the driver's side and passenger side that I want to get done. And on these, guys, I want to just let me explain something really quick, and then what I'll do with the video is demonstrate how I take off the passenger side. Now, on the Kias, my 2013, it didn't come with the speakers in front like in some models they do. The stereo system I have sounds great, but it just didn't come with these speakers. But what you're going to do basically is the speaker cover, you're going to have to pry it off, okay? And then once you pry it off, I don't know if you can see that, there's a screw that you're going to have to unmount there. Once you do that, then you can just pry the vent out and it'll come out. But you need to take that screw off. That's kind of why I wanted to leave this like this to show you guys. Now, the tools that I used were pretty basic. I just used a Phillips screwdriver, standard, and I used a putty knife. Now, this is a stiff putty knife. I think it's a 2.5 inch. I wanted to have something more flexible, but I wasn't going to go buy a putty knife just to make this video. So this worked just fine. And what I did was basically I just pried it on the side, just like that. And then I tilted it at an angle and it just popped the vent out enough to where I can grab it with my fingers. And then I just pulled it out. It came out really easy. Like I said, I'm going to demonstrate that on the other side, the passenger side, so you can see how that all came out, how it all came out. And then I want to show you this real quick because I'm not going to do the whole thing red. That would look too tacky and terrible in my opinion. So I want to leave again some contrast. So this ventilation knob will be left black along with the vents. The only thing I'm going to focus on painting is the frame. That's it. So to make that easy for me, all I have to do is unlock these little clips on the side. There's a total of 6, 3 on each side. And then that's going to release the frame. And then we'll take that, clean up the frame, and get it prepped and ready to get painted. And then, like I said, we're going to do that both to the left and right side. So I just wanted to do that for you guys to show you how I did it in case you guys are interested in, you know, tweaking your car a little bit like that. You know, just kind of make it look unique in its own way, a little different. So that's what we're going to do. Oh, and by the way, that happened shortly after I did it years ago. I accidentally needed to take this off to tighten that screw that's behind there to release this. And I actually, with my nails, I chipped it. So today I'm going to take care of that with, since I'm doing these, I'm going to go ahead and take care of that as well. Other than that, it's held its retention. It's held its color just fine. Everything worked out. I'm really happy with the results. And I think you guys, if you're kind of like I am and you like modding your vehicle just to kind of have that little unique character to it, maybe you might be interested. So anyway, we'll go ahead and go on with that, guys. I'm probably showing like I'm sweating like crazy, but it's really humid here today in Texas. We had a little rain this morning and it's just really humid, but not to the point where it's going to affect the conditioning of the paint, so we should be fine. So okay, guys, let's go ahead and get that started, and I hope you like the video. Okay guys, as you can see in the video, it wasn't hard at all to get these off. It took like 2 minutes literally to take these off. So now well, first of all, let me go over what we're going to use to clean them and prep them. So this is basically denatured alcohol, 90%, and then a terry cloth. And what we're going to do, or fiber, sorry, not a terry cloth, microfiber cloth. And we're just going to clean them, spray them and clean them down just to make sure to get any sticky or gunky residue off. The other thing is just find yourself a cardboard box, an old poster board, something that you don't mind getting overspray on, because that's what's going to happen. The other thing I'd like to mention is, as I said in the video, I mentioned what product, I'm using. This is vinyl and fabric specialty coating made by Duplicolor. That's what I previously used, and I'm really happy with the results. So I'm going to go ahead and use it. Like I said, very good quality product. I hope they never do away with this. It's really good for vinyl. It says that it's ideal for dashboards, door panels, center consoles, trim, and seats. I don't know about the seats part, but everything else I can guarantee you it works. So anyway, that's the product. So now, as I mentioned before, we were going to take these 3 clips off, so that way we can go ahead and only focus on the frame, not the vents. So let me go ahead and get that started. You'll probably need a flathead screwdriver. To do it with your nails would be too tough. You'll probably end up messing up your fingers. And basically you're just going to pry the flathead screwdriver underneath to lift those tabs. And then once those tabs are lifted, you'll be able to pull the frame off. And like I said, it's a total of 6, 3 on each side. When you're prying them off, don't over exceed it. Don't go beyond the little clip that you need. Don't overdo it, because you'll end up cracking them. It is plastic, but it's not very flexible plastic. It's still kind of a bit hardened plastic. So those 3 are off. Hopefully this won't take too long and you're not boring you guys. Hold on, this is a thick screwdriver. Let me get a thinner one. I think that's the problem. Is that, or you know what? Here we go. Yeah, that other one was a little too thick, and that's what was causing the delay. All right, and one more. Seems to be something else holding this. Oh. What happens, guys, is when you release them, they've been in that position for so long, they actually fall back in place. So you're gonna have to just kind of play around with it. Once you get them all loose to the point where they come off and stay off, you'll be fine. But they kind of want to go back into that fixed position, because that's kind of how they've been for like so many years. They kind of just fall back into that position. So I got it loose. I'm trying to find out why it's not coming off. So hang on, let me just focus here. Oh, okay. Okay, let me show you guys real quick. So on this part right here that controls the vents, you know, the vent location, whether it's blowing to the left or to the right, that little toggle, that little wheel, there's a little, you can see right here where that wheel is kind of embraced in this frame. So what you have to do is lift this part, this little plastic part in an open position, And what that does is it lets you pull this out from its housing. And then now we're good to go. We should be able to get this off now. That's what was taking a while. Let's see, there's something else holding it. So that's off. Okay, it's got a little plastic wedge, and that little wedge falls into the frame. So you gotta, when you take this off, you gotta tilt it when you take this off, you gotta tilt it at an angle, and it'll pop right off. And then this vent right here, same situation. You just have these little locking clips. 1, 2. And then it's got that same indentation like that does, like I mentioned, where you're gonna have to pry it. You're gonna have to pry it out at a 45-degree angle, because that's gonna keep it held in place. So let's go ahead and get this one off. And what I'm doing is I'm applying pressure with my fingers on the vents in the front, so as I'm loosening it, it pops out. And then, like I said, you don't want to overdo it, because if you do, you're probably gonna break the tabs that actually hold it in place. And when you try to reset it back in again, it's probably not gonna hold as well, because you've already broken the tabs. It's kind of hard to do this while I'm in this angle. Hold on, let me just... And then, like I said, guys, it's humid today. So there you go, pops right off. So now you're left with just the frame. Okay, hopefully that wasn't too confusing or difficult. So we're gonna do that to both the left and the right. Kind of keep these situated in their own particular order, so that way when you put it all back together, you're not mix matching them. So next, we're just gonna dampen a microfiber cloth with some alcohol. Just give it a quick cleaning. Just to knock off like I use Armor All on my dash, so the Armor All kind of like gets it, conditioned. You don't want to have any of that remaining on here while you paint, because what will happen is it probably won't let the vinyl paint adhere to the surface, because it's actually holding on to the that finish, whether it's Armor All or any kind of vinyl conditioning that helps it keep its luster and condition it. Just make sure you clean it really, really well. That's the only way you're going to get good results. Okay, so now that you've got it all cleaned up, let it dry off a little bit. That's the purpose of using 90% denatured alcohol. The dry time on it's extremely fast. What I'm going to do momentarily, guys, I'll go ahead and do the other one off camera, so I'm not boring you guys. Basically, everything you did on the driver's side vent, you're going to do on the passenger side. Same thing. I already rattled these quite a bit, so I'm pretty sure the paint's ready to go. Now it's just a matter of painting it. Now, again, it's so humid over here. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and paint it. I'm going to give it 3 very light coats, because that's what I did with the previous trim inside the vehicle. So it gets that nice complete coverage, but you're not doing it in one lump sum, because then you'll get runs. So let me go ahead and do that. And then at this point, I'll go ahead and finish the video with me doing the finish on this one. And then we'll come back and I'll show you the finished results. Because like I said, there's no point in me showing you what I did to this vent, because it's the same exact thing on the opposite. It's just more time wasted, and I'm sure I don't want to bore you guys with a long video. So all right, let's go ahead and do this. It goes on pretty thick and pretty good coverage. You don't really need to overdo it. And then let me just show you guys what it's looking like right now. So that would be one coat. As you can see, it needs more. You don't want to overdo it, because you'll see, like, right there, it's getting some overspray. It's getting thick. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna let it dry. Give it another coat, total of 3 coats, and then once I'm done, I'll come back on the video and show you the results. All right, guys. Okay guys, as you can see, here's the finished product. Like I said, it gives it a lot more detail, a lot more character, as opposed to it just looking all black. That's the finished result. And like I said, the contrast looks good. I still need to put the speaker grill up here, which will cover those kind of little imperfections. That's why I wasn't too concerned about those orange pills right there, because the speaker grill is going to cover that, so it's not going to be noticeable. But yeah, that's the end result. What I'll do next is I'll go ahead and put it all together on the Kia, and then show you guys the end result. But again, this video is for anyone that might want to, you know, change up their car a little bit, just make the interior look slightly different, customize it if you will. Very simple, didn't take long at all. The whole project, except for the fact that I had to let the paint dry, probably only would have taken about, if the paint would dry a lot faster, honestly, I would say probably about an hour. But I gave it about 4 hours. Once I completed everything, I let the paint dry for about 3 hours, and as you can see, I can touch it, rub it, and it's done. It's complete. So okay guys, let me go ahead and put it all on the vehicle, and then show you guys the after effect, or the results afterwards. All right.